Welcome to the 8th episode of ML Backstage. My name is Mars Luna, and we're introducing this podcast straight from the 6th dimension. This is a music commentary podcast hosted by my favorite Earthlings, Holokahiki Toves, Kainalu Kamai, and I guess that other guy, Joshua Luna, too. Anyway, I'm really excited today because we got Scott Yago back and we're finally able to talk about dark matter. I'm really excited, Ethan. Earthlings, grab your popcorn and let's get started. Back to planet Earth we go!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 8 of the ML Backstage podcast. I'm Joshua Luna, here with my fellow co-hosts, Holokahiki Toves and Kainalu Kamai, and we brought back Scott Yago from episode 3.
Whoa, it's been a minute.
Excited to have you back, bro.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm excited.
It's been so long.
Yeah, right. And I'm excited to be here with all you guys again. This episode was originally supposed to have Tom and Morgan from episode 6 and 7, but we're trying to navigate through time zones. So here we are, and I'm very, very excited to be here with y'all. So, how's everybody been?
Who's gonna go first? We always talk at the same time. There's
Well,
no
luck
time
of the
limit.
draw.
I'm gonna go Nalu, Holo, and Scott, and then me.
All right,
Respect.
let's go. He said me. So, everybody knows I've been doing the same usual run a business, go surfing every day, take photos. But I've actually got a new job offer I took up.
Oh, let's
So
go.
I'm actually, thank you to some family friends that worked at the JTB buses Hawaii. There's a actor position for the Ghost Bus Hawaii attraction that just recently happened for Halloween. So
Nice.
I got lucky to do an interview today, check out the bus itself. And next week we're gonna see how it goes. So I'm gonna be an actor trying to scare people.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro.
You know,
This is gonna be
pre-save me.
crazy.
You know, pre-save me would say, "Oh, Nalu, you need to wear a mask." Nah, I'm playing. You handsome bugger.
That's rant.
Oh, good. That's good for you.
This is gonna be
Yeah,
this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, dude.
That sounds like a
So-
lot of fun.
Apparently the Ghost Bus, this is the second bus. The first one is in Japan. So the original creator is what is his name? He's a well-known haunted horror house and movie maker in Japan, where he does sets for all the Japanese horror films. So he does all their stage props and kind of directs all like certain things that go with horror. And the Hawaii bus is the second edition. So they're
Wow.
looking to open it all year round. So it's going to happen every day until Halloween next year.
Oh, that's
That's-
pretty cool, dude.
That's fire,
Oh.
bro.
Damn.
And located right in Waikiki.
Wow.
oh, even better.
That is better for you. You have the most random things happen to you, bro. I swear.
I wasn't expecting this one.
Nah, he was like serious. He was like about it.
He's so about it, dude.
But then again, I'm not knowing you and Kainalu. I'm not surprised. I'm really happy for you though.
Yeah.
Hopefully you do get it.
That'd be
Holo,
sick.
oh, my bad.
Oh,
They're
no.
good.
Holo, what about you?
So I went back to work after 2 weeks of vacation. As you can see, I actually moved into a new house. It's more
Let's
colder,
go.
more farther away.
More
You guys know
colder,
that
and it's not a
too.
blank room no more.
It's not
There you
a blank
go.
room anymore. But yeah, everything's been cool. I've been shooting videos on the side. I showed my boys the videos, and I'm actually started streaming on Twitch. So if you guys would drop by, say what's up, I'll be there. But gotta hold it down for the boys. We are
Yes,
here
sir.
to do the podcast.
Drop that
Yes,
handle.
sir.
Drop
Yes,
that
sir.
handle.
Drop-
What's your
drop
handle?
the handle.
Say,
Drop that handle.
that handle.
You drop the handle.
Oh,
Drop the handle.
relax.
What are you dropping
Yeah,
hands.
we're gonna
already?
get-
What's-
there at the
What's
end.
on Twitch? Oh, okay,
Oh.
all right. I
We're
respect.
gonna get there at the end.
Let me look for the handle first.
Order. Over there. Oh, no.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Scott, what about you? How you been?
It's guys been taking me up and down, left and right, but it's been good. I changed shifts. We recently switched to 4 on 3 off, so I work 4 10-hour shifts now at work. Airplanes are still needing to be fixed, and it's pretty fun. But new life updates. There's a lot of job opportunities out there that I'm looking at. I'm kind of interested in this one that's in New Mexico, and it's working for a prototype nuclear plant, basically.
Dang.
The job position title is fluid mechanical technologist. So I have no idea what that entails, but they're like, hey, people who work on airplanes tend to do well. So I was like, okay, let me go check it out. So I have an interview tomorrow. We'll see how that goes.
Let's go.
We'll see if it's a good fit. You know, like I gotta pray on it. That's the main thing. Is like I gotta pray on
Yes,
it.
sir.
You know,
You
Yes,
got
sir.
it, bro. You got
Automatic. Automatic.
If I come back with like 4 eyeballs, you guys probably figure out what happened.
Hey, you go and
Well,
join the
retrace your
glasses crew
steps.
like me. You go join the glasses crew like me. 4 eyes.
I'll be wearing 2 glasses because going one on the top, one on the bottom.
Oh, you can see into the future, bro, with that.
Oh, guaranteed, bro.
Oh,
top,
man.
right here, bro. I got it. Top stack Oakley's, bottom stack Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Josh, what about you? What's going on with
Yeah.
you, man?
Yes, sir. So I decided to go last because my basically my whole like how everything is going is basically going to be covered in this episode. So
Hey.
because I don't need to spoil this anymore. The next Mars Luna album, Dark Matter, is coming out on November 19th. It's done. It's completed. Mars actually announced it today on social media and all that other stuff. So this is the Dark Matter episode, the first one. So yeah, other than that, it's been like a roller coaster last 2 months. You know, just a lot of like, you know, working at church, you know, going through transitions and going through church transitions is not a new thing for me. Like I've noticed that in every like church situation that I've been through, either I help churches transition to a new season of their life, or like a pastor's leaving or something, or like I start a church from the ground up, or you know what I mean, like those kind of things. So it's not for the weak. I'll say that much.
Yeah,
But
it really isn't.
but it's not like something that should be glamorized by any stretch of the imagination. But God is going to do what He's going to do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro.
But yeah, Dark Matter.
Dark Matter.
So Dark Matter is coming out on November 19th. Finally, after 2.5 years in the making, this album is finally coming out. And I sent y'all an actual like pre-release link, a quote unquote secret link early. So y'all were the first ones to actually hear it besides the producers. But what if y'all had a chance to listen to it? What are your favorite songs, and how does everyone feel about the album? Just to kind of give a glimpse of what to expect.
Let me look for that link real quick.
Yes. Why? I'm not even gonna say the title because I want people to know.
Yeah.
This one is my favorite. I'm busting it up right now. I think it. Where is it? Oh, I can, right? Though, because
you can.
Announce it, right? Okay.
You can. You can give titles away.
Oh.
You can give titles away now. Oh, gone.
Yeah, that song. That's the song. That's the song.
So
It's
fire,
gone.
dude.
Gone.
So like that and Psychopath, dude. Like this, I don't know, Josh. Like I have to say, this album like really brought out Mars in a way that I didn't expect him to be brought out. You know, like
right.
Like we all thought that he was. It's funny. How's this gonna be? I thought that Mars was just out there, but in the end, he's kind of just like a down to earth guy. No space pun intended. You know, like he's different, but like the stuff that he's feeling is so down to earth, and it's so real, and it's heavy.
Right.
That like that persona that you put out, it shows in this album so clear. Like, yo, like the emotion is there, the musicality is there, vocally you've always been there. So I mean, like, there's no doubt about that. But like the album itself, favorite song, probably it's hard because I like Psychopath too. But for me, when I first heard Gone, I was like, yo, this is Mars Luna on like the level that you would expect someone with a name like Mars Luna to be on. You're like, oh, this hits. And I'm not gonna lie, I blasted it in my car. Like, like, and I have a 12-inch sub, and it's only one sub, but it's perfect. Like, everything, it's mixed well, everything, like musicality wise and engineering wise, like I find it just so, like, it's so there. Even Psychopath is there too, but like that's for me, between the two, you can't ask me which one's my favorite, because I love both of them like on the same level. In fact, this whole album that you put together, dude, like I can't even pinpoint one.
Hey, that's what's up.
Yeah, and I'm being completely like 100 with you, because
right,
no,
that's automatic, bro.
So
that's really cool. That's really cool.
So proud of you, bro. Like,
thank you.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like, thinking back to our G building jam days,
right?
And then now hearing that this is like the level that you're producing and singing at, and then the next level that you're going to be producing and singing at, it's going to be literally in outer space. It's like X. So
yeah,
Josh,
yeah, dog.
Bro. Hey, what about y'all?
I appreciate it.
Holo?
Nalu's like, if it's not EDM or K-pop, I ain't listening.
Wow.
No. I'm just playing.
I'll go.
I'm just playing.
It's been a while since I listened through the whole album, but definitely Gone was probably my favorite.
Gone.
Only because I remember you worked on it way back.
Yep.
It was actually a fun song when you first made it. And then hearing the final version now, I really like that beat. And like how I told you, it sounded like the Police a little bit.
Yep.
Like that style, kind of like the 80s retro.
Yep, it's that. It's definitely a mixture of The Weeknd and the Police. So
yeah, I even got a little bit of Post Malone with circles in it. Like
a
little bit
that
of that,
too.
But it's not that. It's just like, oh, it's it. Like, Sorry.
No, you're good, bro. You're good, bro.
Oh man. Well, yeah, when I'm looking at the track list, I actually listened to it when I was unpacking, and I think I shoot you the text like, oh, I was just listening to your link. I was like, dude, I'm like confident that this is your best work yet, because it sounds so much like you're becoming true to yourself. And not to say like all your other work was just put to the side, but I feel like everything that led up, like all your music actually led up to this moment where you actually blossom into what Mars Luna is and what he embodies. So I couldn't even get past the first track. I had to replay it a couple times. I think it was just your harmony and your tones. Like, it brought me back, like, dude, I gotta rewind this again. And then it ends, and I'm like, dude, that's it? That's it for the first track? I gotta rewind it back.
Yeah.
But it's like just to like short story short, it's just a story from beginning to end. A story. You're telling a story. And it just brings you through all these emotions of what Mars Luna or Joshua Luna is going through, and it's just a mix and a mode, and you have this masterpiece. And I love I love it so much because it's so weird. It's Love Hotline.
Oh, that's fire too.
The skits. Oh,
The
I'm
skits, yeah, the
and
skits.
shout out to Tom. He put in work on those skits. He made those joints come to life 1000%.
Tom,
But
bro, good job, bro.
but
So
yeah,
so much goodness, man. But yeah, that's enough for me. I don't want to spoil
yeah.
anything. Wait for
No,
all the fans.
you're good, bro. I just can't wait for people to hear it, honestly. Like, I can't wait for it to be like not mine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's not mine until it's still mine until it's out there for everybody to listen to. So yeah, I'm glad, I'm humbled by all the responses that y'all gave. And I know that y'all always keep it 100 with me. So like, it means a lot because all those things that everybody said was all true. Like the duality between myself and Mars Luna, they're both meant to be like different aspects of my personality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the persona that I portray with him is very real. It comes from a real place. And it's one of those things where it's like he is out there, but I don't put it out there as much because it's like it's strange in a way that's not entirely socially acceptable. But I did want to illustrate like the storytelling of this. If Mars Luna was to be defined by any body of work, it's this one.
Right.
And like this is like the apex of this iteration of Mars Luna. It was because it was meant to be like everything that you guys said was everything it was supposed to be. So that validates it for me. As far as like my personal favorite songs on the record, I'll give like a whole list in like what is my favorite to least favorite. So it's after listening to it a few times objectively, because I'm hard on myself. I'm gonna go with Psychopath, We Get Down, The Villain 2, Rocket Science, Lipstick Blues, 3 a.m., Heaven, In My Head, Gone, Turn Back Time, Love Hotline, and Over Again. So that's like my ranking of the songs in order. But yeah, like I'm just excited for people to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just I don't know how people are gonna react. It can go in a lot of different directions. But you know, it's one of those things where it's like you just got to hear it for yourself. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to know how everyone will feel about it until it's out already and people hear everything. So I want to talk about the dark matter concept and the origins and all that kind of stuff. So fun fact, the original title for dark matter when I started like writing songs for it back in 2018, it was actually supposed to be called Lost in Space 2. So it's meant to be a continuation of Lost in Space. And Lost in Space, I was telling Tom this, like Lost in Space provided like general themes, like story-wise, but dark matter kind of expanded on the ideas that were planted in Lost in Space and kind of refined it a little more. You know what I'm saying? And dark matter to me, I was trying to look for something like space wise, you know, that kind of fit with Mars Luna. And, you know, since the first album was called Lost in Space and everything. And I was just looking through like the contents of the album, and it's a pretty depressing album. You know, if you look at everything in its entirety. So I figure like dark matter would be like, it was a self-explanatory name at that point. I was like, this sounds good. It feels good. It kind of fits with everything that's going on. I don't want to be lost in space forever. So it's just going to be dark matter. And it was like a resounding name for me. And this project was my baby. It was my baby. And like, even I'm proud of myself for like, you know, all the obstacles that I went through to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna get to all that in a later point. But yeah, like those are some like fun facts and the origin story behind dark matter. And when it went through several different like evolutions in the sense of like um this project, it was meant to be kind of like an intergalactic like comic book type of thing. So like even the way I portrayed like Mars Luna, like his persona, or like the way I interpreted him or portrayed him, was meant to be like it was meant to be kind of like a mixture of like the Joker, Riddler, and Two-Face Two-Face all in one, you know, and kind of wanted to play off the dynamic of like the Joker and Harley Quinn, and like how their dynamics are in like the comics.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to base some of it off of that, but it also resonated with me personally. So in order to get right for this album, like I read a crap ton of comic books, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And just like, and just kind of like immersing myself in that space. So I knew what direction to take the story and what direction to take the album in, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Wait, hold up real quick. As far as like the studio sessions went with Morgan, and whenever Tom came to Vegas to work on the project, those moments were fun. Like I love those moments. You know, those are like I was focused in the studio in a way that I was never focused before. And like whenever, especially post-COVID, not post-COVID, but like this year when I was playing catch up, like Morgan and I jammed through like the songs and my vocals and stuff really, really fast. It was just, it was just, trying to process everything now. Dark Matter my experience working on Dark Matter was a double-edged sword, because the highs that I experienced were really high and the lows that I experienced were really low. And I have to keep this, keep things short as possible without rambling on forever. There are six lessons that I learned when I worked on Dark Matter. So here's why Dark Matter was like such a touchy thing for me. So one of the main things I learned from Dark Matter was like the working with Tom and Morgan was the value of relationships. You know, like what kind of relationships do I want to bring with me, like in the next like seasons and, eras of life, because it reminded me of like the Drake song, the No Friends in the Industry joint.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like, no friends in the industry, my brothers, not my brothers. You know what I'm saying? But it made me like redefine like what it meant to, what kind of relationships I wanted to have in my life, especially mixing with like my life outside of music, which is like church and stuff like that, and working on this, which I wrote in a different time frame of my life. It was like a weird duality, but it made like redefining my relationships a lot clearer. And it made me reevaluate like, okay, like I mean, don't get me wrong, like people that you meet in the industry can be your friends, but for the most part, you know, the relationships that you build in the music entertainment industry, they're not really your friends. You know what I
It's
mean?
business. It's very
It's
business.
it's
Mhm.
business. It's
Yeah, it's very
business.
business.
Mhm.
Oriented.
It's
Even
it's
in media too, right, Holo?
right.
Yeah,
Well, that's
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just like no matter what it is, like business is business, you
Mhm.
know. And like speaking of business, like the second thing that I learned from this was about learning self-control, patience, and professionalism. And even when things don't go the way that I anticipate or the way that I want them to, how am I going to respond to it? Because how I respond to those situations is a reflection of me and my character. So even though there were times during Dark Matter where like I wanted to I wanted to fight people or whatever or argue with people, like it wouldn't really do me any good if I did that, especially knowing the way that Tom operates, especially, and this is not a diss, like knowing because he knows this, like knowing the way that Tom operates, like you know, he sees things a certain way and only a certain way. And like I had to realize that, okay, like if I argue with him about this, we're not going to get anything done. So it's like, okay, I'll hear everything out, you know, like we'll get through this and deal with everything the best way that I can. And you know, like I mentioned earlier, like kind of preserving the relationships, you know, that I need. And preserving relationships for the sake of finishing a project is not the wave. Like the music can be great, but who cares if friendships or relationships are at stake? And that was not something that I realized for myself that I didn't want. You know what I'm saying? Like I rather like I'd rather just be friends. Um, communication, like learn, especially in a business, in any kind of business situation, you got to learning how to communicate in the right way, like saying certain things the right way, because like for me, like I don't really have much of a filter. So like I'm kind of like I usually stay quiet most of the time because I have to restrain myself to say like the right things or like, you know what I'm saying? Like say things the right way or do things the right way or whatever. So it doesn't make people feel too uncomfortable.
Right.
But just, you know, just it was like this process was like a crash course on communication. And from my end, from Tom's end, and with Morgan's end, because this was basically like a partnership that I put together. Because Morgan and Tom were both my friends, and I was curious to see how things would turn out with them. And fortunately, it worked out for everybody. Worked out with everybody involved. So, you know, just for me personally, just like realizing, okay, I gotta I gotta play things out and see like okay, what is the best way to approach this and say it the right way instead of like trying to be antagonistic and just be too abrasive for no reason. You know what I mean? Um, the definition of success and failure, not letting like other people's expectations dictate your trajectory. Because when and that's why like for me, I realized like I had to stay true to the vision that I had, you know. And honestly, it was hard orienting my vision for Dark Matter in particular because we went through COVID and like I had to stop working on that for a while and then coming back with it and just starting over and playing catch up and you know not knowing what the state of music was going to look like. And for me, like over time, what I realized was that my goal was to just finish the project. And, you know, like finishing it was a success for me because of the mental blocks and all the stuff that I went through to get there. So that's, and not completing it was going to be a failure no matter what. And it would have been the easy way out, but nah, like I'm not going to be built that way. You know what I'm saying? And
you know, had you not finished this album though, and even if you do call it a failure, Josh, I feel like you're so hard on yourself, and this is what I respect about you, is that you're so hard on yourself to the point where, if it's not exactly the way you imagined it in your head, because everybody in the Zoom meeting, we can all attest to being a perfectionist for having it come out a certain way, right?
Right.
Especially projects that we all work on. But like for you, I was gonna tell you, like, yo, man, like, just because you didn't finish the album doesn't mean necessarily it's a failure. Like maybe that was God's way of telling you, hey, select the best songs for the next one. And like you said earlier, you had a list, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it would have been a failure. At every cost, at every step, and at every point in this musical journey, everything that you put out, and you can honestly finish a song. I call it a success. Like, I respect that about you, Josh, but just know I always got your back and being real with you. Just because you didn't finish an album doesn't make you a failure, bro. I'll tell you right now.
1,000.
Yeah.
1,000. Good one. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I was saying about like you, like it, when how hard on you are on yourself, and you're saying like how if you didn't finish the album, it would have been a failure. I don't think it would have been a failure at all, because you put out so many good tracks. And even if let's say you put out 5 good tracks, like 5 from this album, and you didn't finish the rest, and you're like, oh, I don't know, but that's 5 solid ones, right? And like the way I noticed, and the thing I love about music is you can either choose to put out like stuff. You can be like, oh, you know what, I think I'll just throw it in this album or whatever. Like, you have that choice, but clearly you're not the type of artist to put out like, I think it's okay or whatever. Like every song that you make is made to a certain degree and level, and every time that you get to the next level, you want to refine it and make it better. So I don't ever think that stuff that you don't finish is ever a failure, because there's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of stuff that I produced that sounds like trash, and I'm like, it sounded good at the time.
Yeah.
Like, but then at the end of it all, it's what you wanted, and this is like what you thought you wanted with this song. Maybe you should move it in a different direction or whatever. And I think that's him guiding you to be a better artist. And that's like how I tend to look at like myself when I play worship. It's like, oh God, like I messed up this service. Like, did I play it the way? And it's like, no, because then the next service I remember. So it's never failure. It's always success, I think. And like, you learn from those like bumps,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. And and just kind of I kind of lost track of that, mainly because of like COVID was like the main thing that kind of it kind of just sucked the life out of this project for me. But yeah, like another thing, I have 2 more points from this was music is not a savior. Like music is a good escape. It's an escapism, form of escapism. It's it's escape from reality, but it's not meant to be idolized. And like music is a good thing. It's a way to express your emotions, express your feelings, your thoughts, in a colorful way. You know what I mean? But what happens when you put, good things and make them God things is that the good things become bad things.
Yes.
And
Amen, brother.
And that's just not. And for a while, like through COVID, I realized that, I made music a God thing for a while. And like it goes back to the whole thing about like expectations and the trajectory and everything. I'm like, how in the world am I supposed to do this just because I'm good at it? You know what I mean? Like I talked about this a few episodes back, where it's like, there are other things for me to focus on besides music during COVID. But like, when I knew that, when it was time for me to come back here to Vegas this year, I knew I had to finish it. Like, that was like my personal goal that I had. And, we here now. It's out there. You know what I'm saying? And lastly, believe in yourself and believe in your convictions.
Big.
For me, one of the biggest things was like, I believe in God and I trust in God, but like you said earlier, Scott, like, I'm hard on myself. Like, I can believe in God and not believe in myself, and not believe in like what, the gifts that I've been, and not believe in the gifts that I've been given, you know what I'm saying? And utilizing it to its fullest potential, and trust and activate your genius. Because like, every creative person or non-creative person is a genius in some way, shape, or form. And the only way you'll know whether you have that genius or not is whether you activate it. So like that, those are like the 6 things that I learned from Dark Matter. And out of every like musical endeavor that I've done, I've never wanted to quit more than when I was working on this project. It was like I'm gonna go into more details with some of the song breakdowns, because I'm gonna go over the first 3. So Holo, the first track that you were talking about, it's called In My Head. And In My Head kind of sets the tone for the album, basically. And it's like a good carryover from Lost in Space, but it also sets the tone for Dark Matter as far as like lyrically, and not as much sonically, but it talks about like me wrestling with my demons and just like, like having these thoughts inside of your head, and knowing what happens when you overthink too much, or when you see like the worst possible situation, you know what I'm saying, and not knowing how to deal with those things. That's what In My Head was about. Heaven is basically Drift Part 2, and we covered Drift extensively in a couple episodes back. But Heaven is a song about wrestling and struggling with my faith. And the funny thing about that song is that I wrote that song right before a show that I did. So it was show day when I wrote it. And that's Heaven. And 3 a.m. The third song is the scariest and rawest song that I've ever wrote. That song is a song I'll never do live. Never. I wrote that song back in 2017 at 3 a.m. I don't remember exactly the day, because I don't want to remember the day. And it was when I was about ready to commit suicide, and I wanted to off myself. Like that was like my suicide letter type thing. And working with Tom on this song was interesting, because
that is an interesting dynamic.
Very.
Because he's Tom, from when I watched the past couple of episodes and like heard him talk, he's very, you know what I mean? He's very like, what's the correct word? Like driven and very.
Yes, he works like a machine. He operates like a machine.
Yeah, exactly. And for a very emotional song, and for him to help you and him collab and put out what it became is like, wow.
Right. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Right. No, it wasn't supposed to go that way, honestly, but it turned out better than I could have ever imagined. it was interesting talking to him about it, because it was like, he was like, how do you want the song to go? I'm like, I don't like, because I wrote it as like a really stripped down song. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't meant to be like, it wasn't meant to have like a lot of embellishments, you know? But it, the way I told him was, bro, I don't care what you do with it. Like, I wanted to die when I wrote it, bro. You know what I mean? So it was just like, the emotional aspect of it was kind of like interesting, communicating with him about it, you know. But it's a song that it's really scary for me every time I listen to it, because I was like, dang, like I was in like in the darkest possible place when I wrote it.
I like
And,
that though, because it kind of gives you like a checkpoint
correct.
to remind you, like, I was here at one point, but look at where God's taking me now,
Facts.
right? And
Yep.
Right.
and it, like, everyone in this group has dealt with stuff on a personal level where we all, and I'm not just like, and it's just besides us four too. Like, if you think about it, there's been a lot of people ever since COVID kind of happened. It kind of caused a lot of people to kind of refocus on things and kind of change the attention on like what's good in their lives to what's like not right, you know. And it's such a scary thing, because a lot of people that don't know how to handle or process that, like me, would rely on other people for validation and security. And being in the season that we are in, COVID and all of this stuff, like having those strong, depressive, and very, 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 very dark, very, very dark emotions come out during the time where there really isn't a place to sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
That you have to face it like head on, like, and
Facts.
it's not easy.
No, it's not.
It's not easy. And for you to do it and put it out in this way, and everyone does it in their own ways and stuff like that. But for you to put it out into this healthy channel,
right,
and pouring it into your gift, and it took you here, like, it's like you said, like it's you don't really want to hear that song because you're afraid it might take you back. But just I guarantee you, Josh, like, after all of this, like, I would feel this if I were you, like, trying to put myself in your shoes, where I see 3 a.m. and I'm down. Look how far I've gotten, and look how far God is taking me. Look how far I've made it with my friends, my closest friends next to me, and like, just look at how He turned all of that negative stuff into something good. And that's the most sickest thing, is that you actually were able to put it out there like that.
Yeah, dog.
No,
for sure. It's actually one of the songs that I listen to the most out of the whole album, even though it's like, I don't want to go back to that place. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you said, Scott, like how, like, God brought me out of this space, that I was in. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it's still a fat struggle. But I mean, like you said, it's all gonna be all right in due time. That actually transitions into the closing questions that I have seamlessly. For those who are listening to this podcast for the first time, every episode that I have, I pose like 1 or 2 or 3 like closing questions that kind of tie into every project that I put out, and whether it's in a loose general way or whether it's in a really specific way. The 2 questions that I have pertaining to Dark Matter is, what inspires you to keep going in the midst of trials and tribulations? And what would you say or do to encourage someone who's going through a difficult time? So I'll go with Scott, Holo, and Nalu, and then me.
Wow, you hitting it off like real deep in this one. Like, what's been inspiring me to keep on going through this season of my life has been just, if there's one thing that I wanted to see happen and one thing that I believe in God for, it's what inspires me to keep going is just knowing that my situation might not be good and the things I go through and have to deal with might not be good, but I know that it's meant for good, and I want to see the goodness of God and how he's going to take all of this stuff and make it good. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's what inspires me to keep on going every day. It's like, okay, it's something new, something I've never encountered, and where are you taking me now? Like, if you're taking me through this season, there must be a greater level, a greater season of blessing. So being at a low point, you know that the only way to go is up. And
Correct.
that's what I look
Mhm.
for.
Correct.
You know? And, you know, for the second question that a lot of people would ask about is like, or like, what would you say to someone that's having a difficult time? And it's honestly, I think that it's hard for me to answer that question because I can see myself going through this right now. And whenever I meet people that are going through a difficult time, the first thing that I notice that I do is I don't ever really try to sympathize with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more so just like be observant and just be there for them. And I think for that person that's going through that difficult time, it's just remember that to hold on to one, Jesus, the word, and like if you believe in God, and if not, like just know that God loves you so much that he's not gonna let you be like, that's why he's letting you hear this now, whoever's hearing this. And two is to latch on to the people who bring basically who bring you truth, not just making you feel good, but
Right.
actual truth. And I think truth is like hard to come by, like real people telling you, and it might hurt and it might suck, but those are the ones who truly love you. And latch onto those people. It's not easy, but just know that every day that you can get through, there's another day that you can get through, and the more days you get through, that means you can get through twice as much more days. And it's very cliche to say time heals all wounds, and it's not right to say it. But instead, I'll say that it's gonna be okay. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're facing, whoever's going through a difficult time right now, that one day you'll stop saying like it's never gonna get better, and instead you'll start to say, maybe because if this is how it is now, I can only imagine when it's gonna get better. So that perspective is key, and having people around you to remind you of that perspective is so key. That's
Right.
all I say. It was alright, it's kind of preachy, but like, yeah, that's what I
No, it was good, bro.
that's deep. So deep, bro. Like, this is such a deep. Yeah, every time
He's always hitting us with this.
I know, it's like,
The way my mind works, bro.
it's good though. I mean, it really is good because this is like not normal conversations that people would have with another, because they're afraid to talk. People are afraid to talk about like what they're going through,
Right.
because it make them sound hurt or a victim. But like in the end, like when, like me, I like listening to that kind of stuff. It gives me perspective. You know. Holo.
Yeah, Holo. What you got?
Yeah, you.
Shoot, pressure, man. Pressure.
Press her.
Oh, PG.
Oh,
PG.
easy.
PG,
Yeah,
guys.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
No, he meant PRESSU.
Yeah. Right.
Right. But shoot, what inspires you to keep going in the midst of trials and tribulations? It's. I'm trying to. I'm like actually thinking, back in 2020 when the whole world went down. What actually stood out to me is, having time for yourself and don't necessarily push everyone away.
Right.
Like keep tabs with everybody, check in with people,
Yep.
even your loved ones, your friends, your close friends, even if it's just a simple conversation. But you know what inspires me, dude, like it's just I gotta say it's just to I think it's just mainly I don't want to be like selfish and just mainly to say what I want to go through. I want it to be like more open for everybody, but it's just from my experience is you just gotta I don't want to say you just gotta push through because everybody has a different way of pushing through, and it's not necessarily hard hitting, or it could be like just a soft direction, a glide. But it's understanding like the trials and tribulations that do happen in your life. It is there for you to learn more about yourself and what other things would happen beyond that earthquake or that shake in the frequency in your vibration. Because when I could say for all of us, when something is out of place, something that just comes like boom, just comes drops from the sky, and you're like, whoa, what is going on right now? We all get shake to the bone. But like how Luna was saying earlier, it's the way that you react to that situation. And I believe what inspires me is the result of that reaction. To remember how you felt, how you pressed on to that situation is what prepares you for, or if there's a similar situation, or if there's another, not necessarily a problem, but a similar scenario that you can actually you have that two tools on your belt, like, okay, this is what I got to do because this is what happened years ago, or what happened the other day. It's just these all these things that pushes us out of our comfort zone. It is a learning experience. It gives us more knowledge and more ideas, even life lessons that we would hold on to. And someday, like what we're doing right now, we're actually sharing with everyone who actually listens to this podcast about what experience that we all went through. Like we're trying to reach out to these people and we're sharing our thoughts. But going on to the next question before I start rambling off.
No, you're good, bro. You're good.
But what would you say or do to encourage someone who's going through a difficult time? I would say like there's this saying, I don't know the exact words, but I'll just put it in my simple terms. It's the preparation process. So if you're already in a glide, in a smooth groove, and it feels pointless, like you don't know, you're just doing it because out of habit, just keep doing it, even though you have no direction, you have no feeling towards the thing that you are doing, because when there is an opportunity that arises, who's going to be ready for it? You're already there already. So you're ready to go.
Right.
Everybody who is, they quit, they're tired, they're sweating, they threw the towel in. You're still going on that rocky road. But once you hit that smooth glide, you're there already. Once you hit that point, it's only you up there. All these other people just took the bus home. You're there already. So when this opportunity arises and you're like, okay, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what street I'm on. I'm on a one-way street. I'm going the wrong direction. just keep going, because you eventually you're gonna hit that exit, and you're gonna be the only one there because you went through. Going back to the first question, all these trials and tribulations, you already hit those already. Those safety cones, you blew it all away. And like how Scott was saying, God's gonna come and swoop in, and he's gonna let you know, like, I see you, brother. Like you went through all these, all this that I laid out for you. I'm gonna show you the light at the end of the tunnel, because I saw how you performed. You went through while all these other guys, they just quit because they're sweating, they're tired already. They cannot handle. But you got the mental physique, you got what you got. You're bringing something new to the table. I'm gonna bless you. You got this. You go. Here's your ticket. Go to Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory. What? Just simple terms, with a deep question like that, you gotta come with a deep answer.
That's for sure.
That's all. Thanks, bro.
I love that answer right there. Holo is like the basis of remembering that you are chosen.
Right. That's the word. It's like the golden word.
Scary.
Yeah, it is scary, because that means you're gonna go through stuff that no one else has gone through. And you're gonna have to be a front runner or a forerunner in your situation to help. In the end, it's to help bring other people out, regardless or not if they believe in God or not. And for me, of course, our job, right, as Josh, as worship leaders and people involved in the church, is to bring people to Jesus and let Jesus do the work. And if Jesus use you to do more in their life, then of course you have to do it. But like that, like what Holo said, dude, that's right there. It's like you're chosen, and like you're chosen to go through this assignment because he needs you to go through this assignment, and
he built you for it.
He built you for it
right from the beginning.
Oh, the word.
The feels.
You got you on it already. We're all on it. We just don't know.
Yeah, we just don't know, dude. We really don't know. He does chase after the one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and you are that one. Whoever's listening right now.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Tell me, could you be the one? Not that one.
Oh no.
Nalu, where you scared?
Not that one.
Where are you at, Nalu?
Nalu, where you at?
Right. Sorry, I have to go in the truck so I don't wake up the whole neighborhood when I talk.
All right, bro.
The truck.
Oh,
anyways.
Oh, sorry. Are you in the truck right now? Where's your video?
Yeah, where's your video, bro?
I'm in the truck right now.
Yeah, where's your video?
Wait.
All I see is
all the Korean, bro. Otherwise, if you were gone, I would have answered it for you. I would have said for you. Your answers for the questions would have been just go beach and get those gains.
That's not the answer.
I know.
And I would be like 4-letter word.
No, I was gonna answer for you if you were gone, but
no, I was still here.
Okay, but yeah, what inspires you to keep going in the midst of trials and tribulations, and what would you say or do to encourage someone who's going through a tough time?
So crazy that you had this thing, because I don't really want to go talk about personal stuff that's going on, but it somehow
you can make it general too.
Fits in with what's going on. I might as well just go all on and share.
Go ahead, do whatever, bro. It's an open forum. You know this.
So with Josh's first question, going to my personal life right now, I can tell you financially, I am struggling in some formal way. Not anything crazy like $100,000 debt, no ways. But well, let's just say there's some money, maybe negative money in the bank account. On top of that, I got bills to pay, like house rent, a business location. I even have my truck registration safety expire this month too. So it's like what the hell is going on? But then you know what? At the end of the day, I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna have to suck it up and think of the positive and look forward to a good day, a happy day, which is something that I've always done, like for years. It's actually not something easy that anybody can do. Even a strong person, they say they're tough, but trying to think of a happy or look for the best day or positive thing in a negative situation, yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I've been doing this for years, even with other problems, like maybe some family problems like years ago, and certain things that happened in my life that helped me build my character, my personal strength, and who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole sense of me being always positive, even in the darkest hours of my life, well, maybe not that dark, but even when I hit some form of rock bottom before, I always had to just keep thinking positive, just look to something better. Like, oh, you know what? Tomorrow I'm just gonna go surf my problems away. Boom, I did it. I felt better, even though I had a whole bunch of things behind me trying to attack me. I said, I don't care. If they can attack me right now, I'll still be happy.
Yeah.
Then the next day, I repeat it. I just keep repeating it until I fight each of those battles either all at the same time, which is pretty overwhelming, or one by one. I don't run away from my problems. Mostly, it's just going to have to either come to me now or I'll deal with it when the time comes. And hopefully by then I'll just be like, this is another day of life for me. And then boom, move on to the next day. So
yeah, that's you fighting it on your own terms, bro.
Yeah.
You're not letting it fight you. You're fighting it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I admire you for that, bro.
Yeah, me too. That's sick.
Yeah, I know people have other crazy problems than me, but at the same time, I don't think a lot of people can stay positive that, like how I do. It's like, how do you even do that? Like, I don't know. I'm not human. Like, things going on left and right.
Tough skin.
Yeah.
Maui.
You built for it.
Hey, bring it back to high school. What was your motto in high school? Positive
Irish. Because my eyes are
that came out too natural.
For those who are listening on Spotify and Apple, Nalu just did a real close up of his face.
Oh, sheesh.
Bruh.
Not the high school days.
I was not ready for that.
This is for the podcast. Kainalu has never smoked weed in his life. And
yes,
he's not a stoner.
Never.
But he is the most trippiest person.
Yes.
I swear, bro.
Yes. He doesn't need all that. He doesn't need substances to act all chronic.
No.
I thought you were gonna say be happy, but you said act all chronic.
Or happy to. But I was using another high school term. So
yeah.
I was using another high school term. So yeah, no, for sure. Like Nalu, you built different, bro. Like it's I low key admire you for it. Like you inspire me, bro. Like for real.
Appreciate that.
Like it's
like you're. Yeah, I was jealous of you in high school. Now, in fact, I was jealous of you in high school a little bit because you always had like, and it wasn't that like you were wearing a positive attitude. You always had the positive attitude.
You embodied it.
Yeah, exactly. And it was something that you genuinely felt. And I was like, bro, like this guy, like that's why I want to hang out. Yeah, straight up. No, for real. I'm like, bro, what is up with this guy? Like, how is he never sad? Like, how is he like never sad? And
right.
You know,
just all those years of just trying to control yourself, your emotions, and adapting to things going left and right around you. That's Yeah, that's the big thing about me too. I've always considered myself adaptable to
Very,
any
Oh, yeah.
situation,
very,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah. That you are.
because you are the most like even keeled person that I've ever met in my life. I would say
Mm.
Oh.
so. So
We're going
that's
to
yeah.
go
Go
to the
ahead.
second question for advice. Oh, what could I give somebody advice? Basically, it's the same thing. Just never try to think negative. Don't ever think about negative thoughts or any negative form of harming yourself, others, or anything bad. Just think about something happy or even do something you love to do. That's actually another positive thing because it'll keep you away from making yourself feel down more or less than what you're trying to get to or achieve. In that case, just hope for better things to come. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. You just don't have to make it like it's the end of the world for yourself, but just keep pushing to see something else that might be good. It might be a small thing that will happen, maybe not always a big thing that will make the change better.
That's good stuff, bro.
It's good stuff.
I would have answered for you again with the if you took a long time, I was just gonna say get those waves, surf the waves and get those gains. But
There you
know.
go. That's all you need.
Or just go and surf backwards.
Yeah, go
Or surf
backwards.
or you surf backwards. But that's if you're near a body of water, though.
Yeah.
If you live in the desert like me, that's kind of hard pressed. You got to go to California for that. But you know, but that's fire. So I wanted to go last on this particular question because I needed time to process this question. But there's a lot of different ways um, to go about this because the thing that inspires me to keep going in the midst of trials and tribulations is like it's kind of sort of what Scott said in regards to just curious to see what's on the other side. You know what I mean? Because when you reach rock bottom, the only way to go is up. You can't get any worse. So it's always just like looking forward to seeing like, okay, what happens on the other side of this once I get through, you know what I'm saying, whatever situation it is that I'm going through. And relinquishing control is another one.
Oh boy.
Because it was just like living life in, as a believer and as like if you believe in Jesus, like one of the key tenets or key attributes of living as a child of God is living in surrender, to God, and just, surrendering surrendering what you envision in your mind and in your heart, and just kind of accept that, things might turn out better than what you originally planned. So, and that's kind of what keeps me going. And that's like the main thing that I look forward to. And that's kind of what it's been throughout this entire season and this entire year. It's just like, okay, like once I get through this, like, okay, life's going to be different. Life's going to feel fresh. Life's going to be better. And I can get this stench of whatever it is that's bothering me out of the way, and I guess like, and also like on a human note, like I want to, I know that, I have people around me that, that care about me and that like, and love me, even though I have a hard time seeing it at times because of my own like way of thinking, and it's just understanding that, okay, like people do love you and people do care about you, and I like I don't want to do anything, you know, that would take them out of my life, you know, and just like, you know, just knowing that you have that support, you know, helps me keep going personally. And that's what community is for, right? Like human beings are social beings. Even the most introverted of people are meant to live life with other people, even if it's a small group of people. You know, like I have a small group of people, and that's basically you guys and some other friends, you know, but like being surrounded by, you know, being around people who champion me, who love me, who want the best for me, you know, and you know, and people who don't want to see you fail, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of a motivator for me to keep going. And what would I say or do to encourage someone who's going through difficult time? I think this one, it honestly depends on the situation itself, because like there's not one singular answer that it's not like a one answer fits best with, you know, every single situation. Because if I'm honest, like I had several depressive episodes this year, and like especially with dark matter, you know, going through dark matter again, I tried to, while I was working on it, because this project was meant to be in the past already, you know what I'm saying, if COVID didn't happen, I was oftentimes looking through dark matter in retrospect. And that's what I was telling Morgan this. And basically when I was working on them, like all those feelings from like say 3 a.m., like it resonated with me in real time, and I felt everything in real time again. So it was just like, dang dude, this freaking sucks. And like, why am I feeling like this? Like, why am I why am I feeling overwhelmed? Why am I feeling like super duper low? You know what I mean? And to be honest, like Nalu's like vulnerability may inspire me to be a little more vulnerable here and be like last month around this time last month, like I wrote another suicide letter on my phone because it was just like I can't, like I don't know how much longer I could do this. It was just like a really sucky point. You know, I used to think that once upon a time solitude was my friend, was my closest friend, and now because of COVID and everything else and all the isolation, it became my worst enemy, because I was just stuck in my thoughts like all the time. And sometimes my thoughts don't go into a good place. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something I'm continuing to work on regularly. And just I guess, you know, what I would say to encourage someone who's going through a tough time, you know, it's gonna be cliche, but like if you are like I said earlier, and Scott said, like if you're in rock bottom, you can't get any worse. Like it will get better, you know. In due time, things will get better, and you know, it's not a bad life. It's just a bad day, and just take it one day at a time. You know, like whatever it is that you're going through, you know, like feel through it. You know, it's okay to feel through it. It's okay to process through it, you know, and just you know, just be there, you know. And sometimes it's hard to find the right words to say, but if you are present and if you are there, you know, for whoever is struggling and for whoever is dealing with some hard stuff, then like it'll be genuinely appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And whoever is listening to this podcast and whoever is going through a real tough time right now, you know, I just wanted to say that, you know, you are loved, that you are valued. You know, the world needs you, you know what I mean? And, you know, your life is not done yet. You know, like there's more in store for you. And, you know, it's going to be all right. Like you're going to make it out, you know? And, that's it's tough, but it's tough, but it's going to be okay. Like the other end of the rainbow is, it's in sight. Just don't give up on your life and don't waste it, you know? So
Holo said, "You're chosen."
you're chosen.
Hey, there you go.
Chosen.
Yep.
You're chosen.
Keep on trucking.
Yes, sir. So that was basically it. So we're in the closing section where you know, everybody can plug whatever they want to plug in. I'll go first on this one. You know, yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Luna B Joshua, and you can find all the music stuff on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at It's Mars Luna. You can find all Dark Matter content there. Yeah, Dark Matter is coming out on November 19th, 2021. A little over 2 weeks. A little over 2 weeks. And that's basically the main thing. I hope everybody enjoys the album when you hear it. And also to everybody who listens to this podcast and follows me on social media, DM me a screenshot of you actually watching the podcast, and I'll send you a private link and a pre-save link, because I'm done effing around. You know what I'm saying? Like,
There
it's,
you go. There
you know what I'm
go.
saying? Like, it's
Business.
I feel like being generous. So it's, and you can also find all the music on Spotify and Apple Music at Mars Luna, and you can peep Mars Luna's website at itsmarsluna.com. So yeah, let's go Holo, Nalu, and Scott.
Cool. Why are you laughing for?
Yeah, fat grin on your face, bro.
That was funny. Yeah, so you guys can check me out on holokahikitoves.co is my website. PS, I haven't updated it as much, so bear with me. I have an Instagram. It's at Holokahiki Toves on Instagram. PS, haven't updated that lately.
With your 24 followers, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Those are my peeps, my gang. But yeah, I haven't updated that lately. Yeah, I haven't updated that lately, but you guys can catch me on Twitch. I've been streaming on Twitch. My handle is Holocaust. Shout out to Chad Belamonte.
Another high school friend.
Another high school friend. He coined the name, and then it just stick with me. So my username on Twitch is Holocaust _. So it's HOLOKAUS_. Shout out to Chad Belmonte for the name.
Shout out to Chaz. It's not
It's
based
not
off
Chad. It's Chaz.
It's Chaz. It's Chaz.
Belmonte.
It's Chaz with a Z, or
Oh
two
my
Z's.
God, Chaz.
Two Z's actually.
Yeah, two Z's.
But
Guys are-
yeah, it's not based off of the actual Holocaust. Now,
Yeah, we're-
Oh, I
we're
never thought about that. I thought it was Holocaust.
hey, that's a better way to look at it, though.
I try to stay away from my
Oh,
brothers
damn.
and sisters from that era.
Oh
Yeah.
Is there?
Nalu, what you got?
Joe, right here.
Oh,
Okay,
photography.
Naluman photography.
Oh,
Naluman
it's in their
photography.
business card.
I mean, I always got the business card, right?
Business card, just throw it up.
Take it back.
Oh,
Just here.
next
Like,
episode.
just throw it up.
What a hammer.
Next episode is
Wow.
gonna be like, screw the social media. I'm gonna just give you my phone number.
Let's give him a fight.
He's about that.
Ladies, he's
physicality. He's about that.
If y'all missed it
physical.
earlier on the podcast, yeah. If y'all missed it earlier, Nalu's mom's basically came up on top of the video in one of the outtakes and was like, "Did any of y'all have a girlfriend yet?" And
Yep.
Kainalu was single.
It does.
Yes, yes,
Tingo.
We're all single.
Tingo.
yeah.
Whoa,
This is not a plug though.
Whoa, Holo, is there something
Guys.
new going on?
No. QN Love Hotline interlude.
Welcome to the Intergalactic Love Hotline.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, that's my best Mars Luna voice right now. All right, Scott. What do you got for any plugs that you want to plug in?
Let's go.
All I gotta say is look out for Mars Luna Cross Music by Perseverance, which is
Oh, there we go.
yeah, retake. All I gotta say is look out for Mars Luna X Music by Perseverance. We're gonna have this popping up pretty soon.
Dark matter era, post dark matter era, post dark matter era.
Look out for this next.
I forgot about this song.
Intergalactic summer. Let's go. Yes.
Oh, spoiled.
Left my heart feeling bitter.
Let's go.
Summer left my heart feeling cold.
There we go. There we go.
Summer left me longing for the winter.
Anyway, sorry, I had to throw it in.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Sick.
Right.
Major flex.
Oh,
You know how we do it here. We don't.
That's how we do it.
This is how we do it.
Flexing those traps.
Yep. This take two, whatever one you want to pick. But look out for Mars Luna, and me, aka Josh and me, and Kainalu and Holo. We're gonna be doing some projects pretty soon. And,
Projects when I get back to Hawaii. Yes, sir.
Want to
Yes,
follow
sir.
me? My music page is Music by Perseverance. I do like lo-fi worship, mostly worship, and my personal Instagram is Scotty Tuhati. So SCOTTY.
Gotta do the worm, bro.
Yeah, you got it.
Gotta do the worm, bro.
No, yeah. So follow me. I mean, if you like God-based stuff and you like airplanes and if you like music, hit me up. And if you ever need someone to talk to, and just like lay it out, and just if you need somebody to that person who's watching this podcast today, that's going to
Yes.
be the time.
Yep.
I could always pray for you, and I just want you to know that you're not alone in this journey.
Mhm.
God's got you, and God sent me to tell you that you can always call any one of us. And
Yep.
we're all in this together. We're
Mhm.
all in this struggle together. So hit me up, Scotty Tuati IG, and then my music IG is Music by Perseverance. I don't do game streams yet. Again, I might, but that one is if y'all have a handle. Bamboo Shoots, come at me. I want to see y'all on the Warzone. KD cause 2.62 kind of trash, but not. Just
Forget my battlefield.
Oh, nice. Very
I'm
nice.
playing, but if y'all want to play or like hook up online and stuff like that, hit me up.
Yep. Well said. Yeah, thank you to everybody who's watched this podcast. This one was a little all over the place today, but it was always a good time with my brothers, you know what I'm saying? And hope you all enjoyed Dark Matter. And like what Scott said, like if you're struggling and if you ever feel alone, like you're not as alone as you think you are, you know, like you have people who care about you and who love you, and you know, your life is valuable, you know what I mean?
So valuable.
To those who are struggling with depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, whatever, you know, like, you know, there's always someone who's going to be there for you, you know, even if it may not be physically in person, but it's, you know, like spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all that stuff. So yeah, thank you one more time, and hope you all enjoy Dark Matter when it comes out November 19th.
Let's go.
See you on the next
Let's
episode.
go.
And as Mars Luna always says, embrace your odyssey and embrace the strange. Bye. See y'all next month.
It's Dark Matter season, Ethan. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of the ML Backstage podcast. It was a very candid and actually refreshing episode, and we can't wait for you all to hear the album.
I mean, it is how Josh is, so can't be expecting anything less.
Whatever, Ethan. Keep giving him all the credit. If you liked what you heard, follow us on Spotify and Anchor, and subscribe to us on Apple and YouTube at ML Backstage. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at It's Mars Luna. You can find all my music on Spotify and Apple Music, and on my website at itsmarsluna.com. Dark Matter comes out on November 19. Pre-save the album. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Stay tuned for next month's episode as we wrap up the Dark Matter series. Bye!